All right, Dalton, standouts of the week. 3 players that stood out outside of, the 11 games that we reviewed today.
Yep.
Who was your biggest standout of the week?
There was so many throughout the country, but I just look. They're the number 1 team in the country. They got an easy win over Wisconsin. I just can't take my eyes off Julian Sayin, man. He doesn't miss. And look, Wisconsin, they're not good. Everybody knew Ohio State was winning. They can't score the whole thing. Wisconsin's secondary is probably the best part of their team.
Yep.
Right. Their defense is not atrocious. They just get put in a lot of bad spots by their offense. Julian Sayin, casual, 91.6 passing grade, 36 for 42. 36 for 42. I mean, when we say he's the most accurate quarterback in the country, that's just what it is. He is unbelievable. 394 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 big-time throws. Here's the 6 incompletions. 1 was batted down at the line. 1 he was hit as he was throwing. 3 of them were deep one-on-one shots to Jeremiah Smith. You take those chances. And 1 of them, there was like 1 5-yard out on an RPO that he just missed. He just doesn't miss. He's got 85.5% adjusted completion rate this year. He's the most accurate quarterback in the country. It's not even an argument. You can see him making plays outside the pocket, on the move, on the bootlegs. I'm telling you right now, and I know there are times when you've got a quarterback playing well with a loaded group of weapons. Obviously, got freaks out there at receiver. We know, but there's times where you can see the difference between, okay, you got a quarterback getting carried here, but no. This is not a carrying thing. This is not Jeremiah and Carnell just like, oh, we got a young quarterback.
No, they're elevating each other right now.
They're elevating each other. And I don't even know how you stop this. If he's going to keep throwing like Drew Brees, I don't know how you stop the Julian Sayin at this point. He's not just really good. It feels like he's unfair at this point. He walked into this game. They basically, and they didn't even run the ball that much. They used this game against a pretty good secondary intentionally as essentially a practice. And just said, Julian, you're going to drop back 45 times today because we feel like it. We know we're winning. You're going to get reps against a defense that gives you a lot of different looks. Just carved him up.
Yep.
Like it was nothing. He's unreal. For a redshirt freshman to be throwing the ball the way he's throwing it, and he's in the Heisman race, there is a real chance he wins it. He's off the charts.
I would say he's the Heisman favorite right now. I think he's the best quarterback in college football. We had him win the Davey O'Brien Award going into the week after our midseason, and he showed why in that game right there. And yes, Ohio State's kind of hasn't had to throw that often, which is why his numbers might not be as gaudy as some other quarterbacks in the country, but what he's doing efficiency-wise is the best in the nation by a mile. He is the best quarterback in college football, in my opinion. Dalton, I told you a few days ago, I turned on Julian Sayin's key plays in Ultimate, which key plays, if you don't know, are basically any plays that we grade as positive or negative. So I turned on his entire tape, essentially. What do we grade as positive and negative? I felt like I was watching a highlight reel. I was like, where are the negative plays for Julian Sayin? It literally was every single throw I watched. It was like 90 plays. And I would say like 75 of the 90 were positive plays. I mean, I'm not saying he's at this level yet, but I got very memories of like Joe Burrow throwing to Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson at LSU. Like, that's what he has right now in 2 studs in Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. And the accuracy, like Burrow in that 2019 season, was unfreaking believable, man. What Julian Sayin is doing right now is special stuff, and he still has 1 more year of college football after this year, too.
Oh, no, I mean, the names that we're bringing up, I would argue when he's healthy that Burrow is the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. I would argue that Drew Brees is the most accurate quarterback of all time. So we're making lofty comparisons, but that's the best way we can put it. He does not miss. I'm actually pulling this up for you right now. How many plays this season? This season, 67 positive grades, 21 negatives.
Yeah.
In 7 games. So you're talking about think about it that way. He misses 3 throws a game.
Yeah.
That's silly. That's just, I don't even know. I mean, he's going to keep tearing up teams that they're better than. We'll get to the Michigan game when we get there, but he's unbelievable. They can win a national title. They're the best team in the country, and it's in big part because of him. It's not the wide receivers carrying him, and there are a couple of freaks out there with Smith and Tate, but they're making it look casual right now. They're the best team in college football right now.
No, that's why, like I said, when I was watching his tape, again, I'm not saying he's as good as Joe Burrow was in 2019, not yet at least, but what he's doing with those 2 receivers, it felt so reminiscent of like, okay, yeah, Burrow had 2 elite receivers. Burrow also had the greatest passing season of all time. Julian Sayin, it feels like he's doing like similar stuff with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell.
Oh, no, you know what I'll say? Because I think the one thing that would detract anybody from him right now is you'd go, okay, he doesn't have an A-plus arm, and he'll never have like a Lenore Sellers arm or something like that. Wait till he gets in the weight room.
Yeah.
Because he's not even fully built.
And neither does Joe Burrow either. Who cares?
Well, right, and Joe Burrow, it's been documented that he got stronger when he got into the NFL, and his arm, when healthy, is better than ever. So, I mean, first of all, I'm with you. That doesn't matter.
Oh, he's a 19-year-old kid. Give it time. Yeah.
If you've got a B+, A- arm, you can win in the NFL. Wait till this kid gets in the weight room.
Yeah.
It's unfair now. Just wait. No, he's unbelievable.
So QB1, I would say pretty clearly in the 2027 NFL draft is Julian Sayin. A guy who might be QB1 in the 2026 NFL draft is Dante Moore, the quarterback for Oregon. Oregon was out for blood this week after losing to Indiana at home last week. They beat Rutgers soundly, 56-10 final score on that one. And Dante Moore was back to his usual self with a 92.8 passing grade, 5 big-time throws, no turnover-worthy plays, and 4 touchdown passes. I believe he had 1 interception, but it was not a turnover-worthy play. So Dante Moore was near perfect in this game against Rutgers.
Yeah, he sure was. I mean, that's how you want to bounce back, especially you think about Rutgers' team with a pretty good offense that can be dangerous, Manis and those guys, and you're taking that long East Coast trip. And, obviously you feel better about it being a night game if you're Oregon as opposed to playing at noon Eastern. But, no, Oregon, they bounced back in a big way. And I think that was big for them to just get back on the horse. Yeah, it was a tough loss to Indiana, but they still understand that they're in a playoff race. Even if they end up in third place in the Big Ten, they got a shot to go 11-1 here. If they do that, they're a lock for a playoff spot. If not, if they're 11-1, probably a home playoff game too.
Yeah. Who's your next standout of the week?
Talk about a game we previewed. We're not reviewing today. It was kind of a blowout, and we had a lot of other upsets and things to get to. But how about what Boise State did to UNLV, 49-24, and Dylan Riley? We talked about UNLV's run defense. Not great. This is where, I guess not great is probably an understatement. This is where Boise really had an advantage. Dylan Riley, 15 carries, 201 yards, and a touchdown. 5 forced missed tackles there and 15 carries. That's pretty good. I mean, we got at least half the shootout. We thought we were getting up there in Boise. And UNLV, the lack of run defense, it was a struggle. I mean, you could feel, and it was back and forth for a while. Anthony Calandria was keeping UNLV in the game, but at the end of the day, Boise, anytime they wanted, they could just hand the ball off to Dylan Riley, and he was going to make a big play happen. I mean, 15 carries for 200, more than 13 yards of carry is ridiculous. Not much else needs to be said about that. UNLV, maybe they can turn around and run the table and still be in that playoff mix in the group of 5, but they need to get a lot better on defense, or they're just not even going to have that shot.
Do you want one more ridiculous Julian Sayin stat right now?
Absolutely.
So the 5 greatest seasons of all time in college football in terms of completion percentage. Number 5, Joe Burrow, 2019, 76.3. Number 4, Colt McCoy in 2008, 76.7. Number 3, Mac Jones in 2020, 77.4. Number 2, Bo Nix, 77.4 in 2023. And currently number 1 by almost 3 percentage points is Julian Sayin, 80%.
80.
If he stays at that, that's the all-time record by a lot.
80, and an adjusted at 85.5. I think even the adjusted Bo Nix a couple of years ago was at 82 or so.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about the most accurate quarterbacks. And our quarterback charting, we won't have it done today. It'll be done in the next couple of days. Our quarterback charting with the ball placement, last I checked, he was 5% ahead of anybody else.
Yep.
It's not fair.
At this pace, if he stays at 80 right now, that'd be 2.5 points better than the all-time record right now by Bo Nix and Mac Jones. So just, again, Heisman, give that guy some more Heisman love right now, please. Julian Sayin, I think, should be the favorite right now, but he's getting more, but he should be getting even more than that. All right, my number 2 is another superstar, Colin Simmons, the edge rusher for Texas. 89 pass rush grade in Texas's very close overtime win over Kentucky. 3 sacks for Colin Simmons and 5 pressures on 34 snaps. And really quietly so far this year, Dalton, and I've mentioned before to you, I haven't really heard Colin Simmons' name a lot this year. Well, it's probably because I haven't paid enough attention, because he has an 89.6 pass rush grade in the season so far as a sophomore. So he's showing why he's the number 1 edge in the country for me entering the year, and another great game against Kentucky.
Well, I mean, all the spotlight's been on Arch Manning and the offensive struggles, which continued last night for sure. I mean, Simmons played a big part in the defensive role. Ryan Niblett, the punt returner, came through again with a big play to set up Texas' only touchdown of the night. I thought the play we almost did review that game, probably would have had Texas lost. The play, Kentucky's last play of the night, when Jelani McDonald made that play on the sneak coming around the edge, that was big time. Now, Texas defense is giving them a pulse. Got to find it offensively, but Colin Simmons, I mean, we know he's a freak. It's like, even if he got off to a little bit of a slow start, we know what that guy's going to do over the course of a season. He's another one. 2027, here we come.
Who was your final standout of the week?
All right, we had another big upset that we had so many games here here that we didn't necessarily get to cover in full, but look at the UAB Blazers. Fresh off firing Trent Dilfer, Alex Mortensen, son of legendary ESPN reporter Chris Mortensen, the interim head coach. The two biggest upsets of the season, Max, have been two teams, UCLA and UAB, in their first game with an interim coach. Give me their wide receiver, Iverson Hooks, 94 receiving grade, 10 catches, 164 yards, 3 touchdowns, 6 explosive plays, 2 contested catches, forced to 1 missed tackle. You get a big performance like this against a ranked team in Memphis who was rolling, and maybe trap game looking ahead to USF next week, maybe a little bit of a trap game looking ahead, looking forward to College game day, all that stuff. Memphis came out and got punched in the mouth. And the biggest reason was Iverson Hooks there on the outside, just dominating. He was uncoverable in this game. Just unbelievable catches, plays after the catch, everything that he did. And look, it went down to the wire. UAB's defense kept Memphis in it all the way down to the last play. But there's all of a sudden some very real concern with Memphis because obviously they're going to be unranked now. They're not going to be ranked. Now they got an injury to Brendan Lewis that we don't know how serious that is. It looked like a leg injury. He took on a sack that didn't look great. And they got to play the raging hot USF Bulls next week. And that's a huge game when it comes to the picture of the American. And if they lose to USF, you went from Memphis being ranked in the top 25 to, well, they might be about done here, right, in a span of 2 weeks. So Memphis has to bounce back. But big credit to Alex Mortensen and Iverson Hooks and everybody at UAB who pulled off such a big upset amongst so much turmoil.
Yeah, Alex Mortensen, like you mentioned, the son of legendary reporter Chris Mortensen, who unfortunately passed away last year. And Adam Schefter had a great tweet even before the game, Dalton, that Alex Mortensen's making his debut as a head coach on ESPN2, the same channel his dad was on for so many years, too, which is such an awesome story. And for UAB, who was really down in the dumps, and they fired Trent Dilfer, they promoted a head coach in Alex Mortensen, interim head coach, and getting a win like that over a top 25 team in Memphis, an undefeated Memphis team, really cool for Alex Mortensen to do that, and really cool for him to do it on the same channel that featured his dad for so many years in Chris Mortensen.
Absolutely, and one more guy to credit here. Credit their quarterback, who they had Jalen Kitna playing before this. Credit their quarterback, Ryder Burton, too, 91.6 passing grade. So you talk about Burton and Hooks playing so well in this game. You play offense like that, you could beat anybody. They proved it against Memphis, and they really put a big plot twist in the American race here. I think Memphis, they're going to have to find a way to bounce back quick, and we'll have to keep an eye on Brendan Lewis's status next week too.
Definitely. All right, my last standout was another edge rusher, Cassius Howell from Texas A&M. 8 pressures and a quarterback hit on 31 pass rush snaps in A&M's very close win over Arkansas. Almost got upset there by A&M, but they survived. 26% pressure rate. He now has 32 pressures on the year, as 4th among all edge rushers in the Power 4. 8 sacks on the year, tied for 5th in the country. And I get it. He's got short arms, Dalton, but this guy looks like a first-round pick right now, the way he's playing.
Yeah, no, I mean, the measurables and all of that will be debated later, but you want this guy. Anytime, I don't care who it is in the NFL, if you can rush the passer, you've got value, and Cassius Howell can do that. And I'll tell you, in that game, same game, you know a guy I just kind of feel bad for? It's Talon Green.
Yeah.
He plays his butt off every week, and Arkansas scores a boatload of points every week, and they just can't make stops when they really need them. Talon Green battles, man. I feel for those guys on that offense, especially because they lay it on the table every single week, and they just can't find enough stops to get wins.
Definitely.